Okay, let me hit on some of the financial news, and I promise ahead of Watson coming on with all of the BP oil spill breakdown, he's going to methodically cover every angle of it. You know how Watson does. And again, he's been popping in yesterday and today for 1 hour just to take his training wheels off as a guest host. So that's what we're doing right now with Watson, and he's done better than I thought he would. An excellent job. So I look forward to him coming up in the next hour. I want to go to Dante, Quincy, Morgan, Donna. I will at least get to you guys before the hour ends, but let me get into this economic news right now. In fact, do we have that MSNBC clip with the guy talking about buy land in barbed wire? We have that queued up. Or we're going to play that in a moment. And again, this is just 2 articles. I've got a whole bunch of these today. This is out of the Wall Street Journal. Tax hikes and the 2011 economic collapse. Today's corporate profits reflect an income shift in 2010. These profits will tumble next year, preceded most likely by the stock market. So the stock market will most likely tumble. And this is the Wall Street Journal. Arthur Laffer is very respected. People can change the volume, the location, and the composition of their income, and they can do so in response to changes in government policies. It shouldn't surprise anyone that the 9 states with an income tax are growing far faster and attracting. It shouldn't surprise you that the 9 states without a income tax are growing far faster and attracting more people than the 9 states with the highest income tax. People and businesses are changing the location of income based on incentives. And then it just goes into how taxes have been raised all over the country and federally, how California is bombing out, and how when they raise taxes, they destroy economies, and they have graphs that show all of that, and that is absolutely true. And so, but Texas supposedly doesn't have an income tax. They got a franchise tax. They got a business tax. They're raping the daylights out of us, folks. I mean, it is disgusting. You ought to see the taxes I pay on the desk and the microphone. It's a property tax is what it really is. And it just makes me want to shut down. But I can't because I got to fight the New World Order. I don't even want to make money. I just want to pay for things and be able to run my operation and pay my employees. But they've got it all rigged now with all these new taxes where you pay taxes on everything. And then it makes you want to not pay the taxes, and then they get to throw you in prison. And more of the money goes to offshore banks. It just all goes to them. You know, they raise your taxes, they cut your supposed benefits. They cut your supposed services. You're seeing it everywhere. This is the New World Order model. Here's another one. Investment banker. It's going to get nasty. Buy land, barbed wire, and guns. What did I tell you 4 years ago? Austin is the richest city per capita in the country. Everybody's fleeing New York and L.A. and Chicago and you know, Miami and Palm Beach. And I'm a media person. And working in media and being at events and phone calls and meetings I've had, I've met billionaires, quite a few of them. I mean, real billionaires, people that are on the Forbes list, not fake billionaires that are a dime a dozen, you know, at the country club telling you they're a billionaire. And for 4 years, they have all been leaving the country. You know, I told you about John Wayne's family, a big portion of them leaving the country. They've made the decision. They're all leaving. They're going to Costa Rica, and it looks like the CIA and others are going to keep that somewhat free for a while, though they're setting up a police state there. They're going to loot Switzerland. They're going to loot the Cook Islands. There's really nowhere to run. Luxembourg, Monte Carlo. There's nowhere to go. The bankers, unless you're a multi-billionaire, they're even robbing the billionaires. They're robbing the people worth $100 million. They're robbing the people worth $500 million. They are taking it all. They don't want a middle class. They don't want a rich nouveau riche. They wage war against middle class, against poor people, against the new wealth, nouveau riche, new wealthy. They do not want you to have 2 pennies to rub together. This is their tool of control. What did the London Guardian find out at Bilderberg? That they want to bankrupt us to make us where we're so poor, we don't have money to go protest them. You know, investment banker, it's going to get nasty. Buy land, barbed wire, and guns. Let's go ahead and play that clip. Do we have it queued up to the spot where he talks about the barbed wire and guns? Here it is.
Is Senior Managing Director at Evercore partners, an investment banker to his roots. Do you think that Tidjane Thiam was given the right advice by his banking advisors?
That's a great one for first thing in the morning. Thank you for that, Jeff.
Well,
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that hugely. Let's start strong. Well, I mean, clearly, the situation is incredibly messy now, and I think the shareholders have put themselves into quite a tricky position. I mean, on the one hand, everyone's sort of, a lot of the newspapers and all the coverage is praising shareholders for standing up and saying we don't want to do this. On the other hand, what message does that send to management? Management of the board put forward a strategy. Shareholders rejected. What do the shareholders now do? Do you sort of say to the managers, well, we may think your strategy is completely wrong, but keep on going anyhow? Are they going to take some other action? I think the company...
All right, that's a 7-minute clip, and I thought I'd told them where to cue it up, but I hadn't. So we're going to cue it up, play it after the break, the specific part, because it's a 7-minute clip. It's up on prisonplanet.com if you want to watch the whole clip and also read the article by Paul Joseph Watson this morning. Investment banker, it's going to get nasty. Buy land, barbed wire, and guns. And what have we seen mayors and police chiefs and sheriffs from California to Ohio say in the last 2 months? We're laying off 47%. We're laying off 65%. You know, we're going from 144 to 42 sheriff's deputies in the entire county, and only 3 of them will be allowed each day, 1 shift, to respond to crime. Our other deputies will be writing tickets and raising money. Arm yourselves. Well, what sheriff couldn't morally say arm yourselves? Arm yourselves. The government isn't going to protect you. And there is a serious potential for the complete and total collapse of society. There is a serious potential for the complete collapse. And look, I go back to basic numbers because this is the stuff keeping me up at night. It's very elementary. University studies show that millions and millions, some studies as high as 7, some even higher, millions starved to death during the 10-year Great Depression, with 90% or right at 90% of the public being agrarian, living on the land, being self-sufficient, having chickens out back. We're now almost 90% urban and don't know how to change our oil, don't know how to plant a crop, don't know how to pick our nose. You know, I mean, we expect the government to send a special nose picker for us to do it. What is going to happen if the Depression continues? We've already got 40 million Americans on food stamps. That's high-tech soup lines. What is going to happen when there's only 10% that are self-sufficient, and most of the rural people aren't self-sufficient? It's more like 5% of the country. What's going to happen?